My name is Lynn and I'm coming to you from Cardiff in Wales in the UK, and this is a knitting, crochet, fibre based fortnightly podcast. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like what you see, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you all have a cup of tea or your knitting bag, and you are just taking a little bit of time out today to spend some time with me, which is very exciting. Thank you for coming along. It is gloriously sunny today. It is October the 6th, I believe. Yes, it is, because it is the Cardiff Half Marathon today, and they have beautiful weather. It is crisp and warm and sunny, so excuse this strange lighting. If I go back, I kind of blind myself, but there we are. At this time of the year, we need to be very thankful for nice sunny days, because they won't last long, unfortunately, but hey, there we go. Anyway, yes, you can find me as Calon Yarns on Instagram and Ravelry, all those kind of social media places, and we follow the usual format of what do we follow the format of? Yes, finished object. It's because I haven't got any this week, so I'm feeling very guilty. Yeah, finished objects, works in progress, any new cast-ons, any stash acquisitions, or in my case, rediscoveries, as I am desperately trying to work through some of my stash this year. So yes, let us get on with what I've been up to. So, as you can see in my last podcast, my last podcast, I showed you how I was looking at some steeking, because I am doing the Flea Cardigan. This is by Myhre. I'm not sure. I'll put the link below, but here is the picture of her pattern. It is a glorious flea cardigan, and I believe it's called a flea cardigan because this bit down here is called the flea stitch. So even though it's a solid colour for the body of the cardigan, you kind of every now and again use the contrast colour to give you that flea stitch, or lice stitch I think it's also called. And what that does is creates a double layer, because obviously up here in the yoke, the coloured yoke, the yarn is double layer, so you're getting a nice warm cardigan, but then it goes to single layer if it's just a solid colour. But with this stitch and with this technique, it means that the body of the whole cardigan is also double layer. So let me show you my progress so far. I am doing it out of Solja, the Hillersvåg. As you can see, if you look at my last podcast, I haven't got a yarn band with me at the moment. But this is the way it's working up so far. So I am very much enjoying this. It is a rusticy yarn, as we like to say, which means it's a bit itchy. But I think as you're working it, it's getting softer, and once you block it, the yarn really blooms up and plumes, so you get a little bit more of a halo and it softens up. I knitted a jumper for my husband in this, in some Hillersvåg, similar Hillersvåg last year, and it's gotten softer and softer as he's worn it. So yes, I'm trying to educate my skin to be resistant to a little bit more rustic nature yarns, because they're so beautiful and the colours are so wonderful. So yeah, I'm really loving this. So this is the kind of seed section bit, and you can see here you're carrying the yarn all the way through, which is a little bit tricky because you're not using it in a stitch. It's very easy just to hook it up at the back, to pick it up at the back, and to not give it enough room to stretch as you block it. So that is what I have learned. My first 2 rows, when I was just catching the yarn at the back rather than using the yarn, they were a little bit tight, so I did go back a couple of rows, and it may be a little bit too loose now, I'm not sure. But I think once it's blocked, it'll stretch a little bit wider anyway, and I would prefer it to be a little bit looser, a little bit baggier, the floats to be a little bit baggier than drawing in the yarn and making it pucker at the front. So yeah, first time for that really, so we shall see. Also, you can see my stacked steek stitches. I learned from my last mistake in my steeking experiment not to use the checkerboard system, because I could not see where I was very well. So with this one, the steeked stitches at the front there, you kind of stack them as much as you can. Obviously you're working through different colours, but you stack them as much as you can so you can see the centre one with much more ease when you're coming to cut up that middle section. I know, cut up the middle section. I tell you what, I am so pleased I did a practice piece, because if I was knitting this now, the thought of having to slice the front of my knitting, I think would give me a pretty heavy dose of anxiety. But because I know I've done it once, the sky didn't fall in, the knitting police didn't arrive, it was okay. So I think I'll be all right. And because of the sticky, rustic nature of the yarn, it should hold together well. I believe other people have done it, you know, I'm not reinventing the wheel. So they said it's okay, so it must be okay because they said. So yeah, I'm cracking on with that, and hopefully that'll be ready once those colder days come in and I can feel very snug and warm in my cozy cardigan. So that is the one thing I have on the needles. What else do I have? I am still continuing with my socks. Sock mojo slightly coming back now. Those that you've been with me a while know that I've been struggling with a lack of sock mojo, but this is my one tube finished. The reason why I'm hanging back on the heel is because I just want to make sure that I have enough to do both heels. And this is in Flot Sock, which is a bamboo yarn. It's 70% polyacryl, 23% bamboo, I believe, and 7% polyester. So it's really light. As I am getting to an age where my internal temperature seems to be rising quite dramatically, having anything, my feet get really hot. You don't really need to know this, but anyway, I'm going to tell you. Share and share alike. So yeah, bamboo yarn is really lovely because it's nice and warm and toasty, but it still has that lightness, especially as we're between seasons. It's not deepest, darkest winter yet. So it's quite nice to have something a little bit lighter to make socks out of. And also what I've realised is that I do actually wear quite a lot of ankle socks. With my shoes, so I think I'm going to raid my leftovers of sock yarn and try to knit up some more ankle socks, which will also give me a little more breeze when I have those warmer moments, you know. So yeah, so continuing with that, so I am doing that on 2.25, the higher needles. I like the little short ones, the little bamboo ones, so zipping around with those, and this is how far I have got on my second sock. That's not too bad. It's not too bad because I've been very busy, you know. So yeah, that's not too bad, going along like that, and that is what the ball looks like. So yeah, lovely bluey colours. Have you noticed the theme? Yeah, I am a kind of a blue kind of gal. So yeah, they're taking along quite nicely. Looking forward, I dropped a stitch, hang on. Looking forward to wearing those quite soon. Phew. It's okay, don't panic, don't panic. You can breathe now, everyone. You can breathe, picked up a stitch, it's fine. So that's taken along quite nicely. And then the next project is a new cast on. Ooh, yes. It is one that I talked about a while ago because I bought the yarn for it in Wonderwool Wales in April. And this was a let's stretch the pennies of the yarn budget kind of purchase. I have made a little vlog about this, about how you can buy cheaper yarns within a colour that maybe you don't particularly like, but you can over dye with some simple techniques. And I have put lots of links to YouTube tutorials that I found very useful when I was looking at hand dyeing. Have a little look at that vlog and you can see how sort of easy the process is to make something that maybe in your stash or in the bottom of a sale bin. You can find some lovely yarns, not break the bank, and then just over dye them quite inexpensively to make them into a colour you like. So I am doing the CARBETH cardigan by Kate Davis. So it's this little joy, CARBETH cardigan. I think there's a sweater version of this as well. And let me just show you the back because the shaping is really nice. Here we go. I love that shoulder shaping at the back. But it is a 2 strands together pattern. You can do it in bulky or a chunky weight yarn, but I don't know, there's something about that when you use that instead, when you substitute, that sort of makes it a little bit stiffer and thicker. I really wanted a nice drape to it, and it looks like a really cozy snuggly cardi. So yeah, I decided to go with the 2 strands together, but then it proves quite expensive, hence the buying yarn that I could over dye. So I'll show you a picture of what the yarn was. It was a drops dye, 100% alpaca, Puna, and you can see it's quite a light marley sort of grey colour. Now I know that ordinarily you wouldn't really knit a sweater or a cardigan out of alpaca because it can be really quite stretchy, but you know, I thought I'll throw caution to the wind. I will see, one can only learn by one's own mistakes. But I think maybe the 2 strands together will help a little bit. But either way, I don't mind. What I'm looking for is a cozy, snuggly cardigan. So it doesn't matter if it kind of gets a little bit oversized. So this is what the yarn turned into once I over dyed it. As I say, there is a vlog on this channel, so have a little look at that. So it's this lovely cherry colour, very berry, whatever you sort of want to call it. So I'm really happy with those shades. You can see that nice bit of plume there that the alpaca gives it. These are the 2 strands together. I was very good. I even did a little swatch because I thought it might be a little bit thinner than the Kate Davis yarn that she recommends using, and I think I might be right because this is my little swatch square. So you're supposed to do it on a 6.5, and I felt this bottom bit here is on a 6.5, and I don't know, it was a little bit open, a little bit gapey maybe, and because I wanted it to be snuggly, so I went down to a 6, and I found that texture to be a lot nicer. Now weirdly, I tend to have to go up a needle size. For instance, on the Flea Cardigan, I had to go up a needle size because I wasn't quite getting gauge, and the yarn was quite stiff, whereas this, the opposite thing, was the case. So I went down a needle size from the 6.5 to a 6. I know, a 6, isn't that a quick knit? Hooray! But it was giving me slightly below gauge, but I preferred the texture of the fabric. So what I've done is I've gone for the next size up. So because it should be a little bit smaller than it would have been ordinarily, I've gone for a larger size. It isn't fitted, there's lots of negative ease in there anyway. I think you can get anything from 4 to 6 or 10 inches negative ease. So there's lots of room for manoeuvre there. So I decided that actually I preferred the fabric of the smaller size needle, so I've gone for a larger size in the pattern. So let's just hope that works out. We'll see. But this is my progress so far. It's knitted from the bottom up, all in one long section, so I've done pretty well so far, and I really do like this colour. I did put it into 2 separate dye baths, as you can see from the vlog, but it was because the first colour was a little bit purpley and I wanted it a little bit darker, a little bit more cherry. So I added another colour, and yeah, what I've come up with, I'm really pleased with. So it's a lovely warm tonal colour, and because it's 2 strands together, you sort of don't have to worry about that using alternate balls, because you get little bits of pooling colour, but not much at all because you've got those 2 strands together. So it's a win-win. Very much enjoying that. Very much enjoying the 6.5mm needles because we are racing along. And at this time of year, work is really hectic, and I'll chat more about that at the end. So anything that means that I can knit more in less time is happy days. So happies iawn, very happy. Oh yes, in my last podcast you will also see that we went to the Fibre Hut in Evesham. So that is a place that sells spinning wheels and fibre and weaving looms and things. So myself and my friend Carol, there's another vlog, look at me, busy, busy, busy. Went to see that. I just got to find it behind me, excuse me. Oops. So I have never spun before, so this is a world that I think I want to enter. I know, so much things to do and so little time. So this is my first little foray into spinning. Yay! I am so proud of myself. It is beyond belief. It's a little bit slubby. It's not exactly... My camera turned itself off there for some reason. I think it's because I was showing off, really. It was telling me off. Anyway, so yes, this is my first foray into spinning on a little drop spindle. We have, Carol and myself have signed up for a spinning workshop with Gay down there in Evesham, so I'm very much looking forward to that. That's in November, first week of November, I believe. So yes, I'm just trying to practice my pinch and draw to have some sense of what I'll need to do when my feet are also moving and my hands. It's going to be complicated. I don't know how you people who spin do it, but I'm looking forward to exploring and trying. So I'm going to carry on trying to spin up some more on there so I get a gist of what's going on. I have some lovely Corriedale and some grey Corriedale, and this is Fibre Hut. Check them out in Evesham if you are around that area, or if not, travel. It's not far. Well, it is far, obviously, if you live in America or Scotland, but for me it was about an hour and a half, which was perfect. So yes, I'm looking forward to heading off there to have a look at the spinning wheels. And I think I discussed last week or last podcast the fact that I was toying with an e-spinner or a treadle spinner. I've had lots of advice, and thank you for all that advice. It was very helpful, and I think probably the treadle spinner is going to be what I go for. So we shall see. So yeah, it's been quite yarny lately. A bit of dyeing, a bit of spinning. Who am I? Who is this person? I don't know. If only I had more time, then that would be a good thing. But there we are. So yeah, that's all the yarny content for this week. Please check out the vlog if you are looking to expand your skill base and try and make your yarn budget go a little bit further. It may kind of encourage you to take up some yarn dyeing if you haven't done that so far, and expand your range of colours in your stash. You know, those bits and bobs that you buy because you think you like them, and then you get them home and think, why did I buy that? Well, now you can just overdye it and use it in something else. So do have a little look at that. But I'm going to chat about what I've been up to life-wise now. So if you are leaving us, I will catch up with you very soon. But if you are staying, those of you that have been watching for a while know that I teach in a university, and of course, this time of year, last week of September, first week of October, all the students arrive back and it is a busy time. So we've had a really fun week with our new students and our returning students. But man, I was tired on Friday. Goodness me, you forget actually how constant it is and how much energy they have. It's fantastic. I do love them so much. They're such fun. They make me laugh every day. It's very fun. But yeah, very tired. So it's been quite a lazy weekend this weekend. I am not partaking in the Cardiff half marathon, although I have run half marathons in the past. This one was not for me, but it is a beautiful day today. They've got some really great weather for it, so I wish them all the luck. And it's Knit City Canada this weekend too, so to Wet Coast Wools and K-Zip Knits and Glenda, I hope you've had a great show. Yeah, lots of looking at those wonderful Instagram posts and being jealous about seeing all those beautiful yarns from all those different vendors. But we do have, not next weekend, but the weekend after, is it around the 17th of October, I believe, is the Knitty Retreat that is in Cardiff. So if you are close-ish to the area, then have a look at that. I'll put a link below, but they have a little marketplace. There's a retreat that goes on for a weekend here in Cardiff, but they have a marketplace which is open to everyone, as I understand it, on the Sunday afternoon possibly. not next weekend, the weekend after, but like I say, I'll put the link below, and yeah, I may see you there if you're heading along. They look to have some lovely vendors and hand dyers and spinners, etc., so it'll be interesting to see that. I think it's in the Insole court, those of you that know Cardiff, but as I say, I will put the details below and have a little check. So hopefully make some time to go and see that next weekend or the weekend after. And then what else is happening? Gearing up for my spinning workshop, gearing up to do some teaching next week. And that is about it, I think. My two have settled into university well. They're entering their second year. My husband is busy on a project at the moment, so he is off and about with that. So we are all busy. And then my nephew had a birthday party, his first birthday party yesterday, and his mum, my sister, was talking about Christmas. Oh my goodness. About how she's nearly ready. She's nearly ready for Christmas. Oh wow, those people, huh? Those people. So yeah, we made a hasty retreat from there. We don't need that kind of guilt in our lives. No, it was lovely to see them, see the family, and yeah, I think that's about it really. I've gabbled on for far too long. So I hope you guys are well. Please feel free to get in touch with me either in the comments below if you have any spinning tips, any dyeing tips, or if you do take the plunge and dye something for the first time. Please, please, please let me know. I would love to see your results. There will be links for dyeing tutorials over on that vlog page. So have a little look and be brave. I hope you have a lovely couple of weeks of knitting or crocheting or dyeing or spinning. We're all so talented, aren't we? I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care, guys. Hwyl fawr. Bye.